Okay, so I'm just going to show you a demo of my app. My app that I called is FoodRater. So let me just load it up here then so we can get started. So like I said, I did my app on a food rating service. So we're just waiting for it to load up here. I did the same as yourself. I actually liked the way you had the gift with the splash screen, so I just made that one in myself there as well. And then the first thing that the app comes to then is a login screen there itself. So this one is set up with a Firebase itself there then, and it has to be authenticated. So say for this instance, I check here in the database on Firebase for authentication. I only have 3 accounts set up at the moment. So if I was to go back here itself and just try and sign up with something that isn't in it at all. And I'll just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I'll go log in. It will of course load for itself there, but with the Firebase authentication, it rejects it. And I put in here the style toast itself here, so a red indication, more easier to read that there's something wrong. So I put in the toast saying you don't have the account. So of course then I'll sign up for the account itself here, and so I'll put in the same details itself. Okay. Okay, and then signing up there then itself. Okay, so registered successfully. And that's another style toast itself there then. So what it does is it brings me to my profile page as an automatic landing page there itself. So what I need to do is I just need to put in a logged in user. So say my name here, I can put it in. And say if I want a profile picture itself, I just tap on this camera here, and then it opens up the camera album on the phone, and you can either take a picture or select one of the ones. So I just have this one here, so I'll just remember this one right here, the little green dot on the TV. It's just as the default camera, and it just loads in here itself. As soon as it's done, I can press save. But at the moment, I can see here that my email has not been verified because I just got authenticated in Firebase. So if I just refresh here, the email address will be added, but I have not confirmed my email address itself. So if I just go sign into my email address there itself, I should have just got one there. So it's 23 minutes past now, so it should have just arrived there on the last minute there itself. Okay. Not there at the moment anyway, but I'll check that in a sec. But sorry, my mistake. I have to click on this itself, email not verified. So I need to click here to verify. So verification email has now been sent. So that was my mistake. So I can see that it is in the database right here, and it's been added. Say to today's 25th. I go to my emails now. There it is. So what I do is I just need to verify my email address. I just click on this link here, and it's now verified. So if I go back to the app itself and I reload it in, if I was to come back to it itself, I won't log out now at the moment, but it will be verified. So I can just save the details, and the profile now has been updated. So then I can return to my home page itself. And then this is where then I got the idea for yourself is then I can add in my food items itself as well. I was working with the nav drawer, but I didn't get it implemented for this assignment. I'll be working towards that for the next one itself here. So I'll be adding my own notes and my own details itself and using the styling to it. But at the moment, this is only working itself for when I was following the labs. So I can add in food items itself. So I can, the idea of this is if I'm in a takeaway, I want to know what I might forget what I actually got. I could go to many different places, and did I get a burger from this place or forget it from that place? I'm not sure. So what I can do is I can enter it in. So say I got a burger from somewhere, so the restaurant or the takeaway, I can just easily say McDonald's, and I'll just remember say it was €2. I wouldn't be that fond of McDonald's in myself, so I'll give it a star there itself, and then add the food item. But this is very similar to pretty much your demonstration itself. I can add it to the favorites itself, but then I just add my own consistency to it, just style toast itself there. So if I was go back to the main here, then or load up one. If I go back to the home here itself and go to the other options, is say now if I actually go back to the profile page. it's now been verified, and the images has been uploaded for your profile picture. If I was to go to the database and go to my storage, and I have my profile pictures here, and where is it? Today is the 25th, the last one here, and it was the one with the little TV with the green dot, which has been added to the database itself there, so it's uploading the files to it from there, from that end as well. And that's setting up the consistency. So other features I added then was if you ever wanted to make a personal note about anywhere you are, so you can add a meal. That'd be there then if there's nothing here. So this is just some details I've added then for the account itself. So if you want, you can add the account. So the meal you had, what did you eat? Again, I'll just say maybe a hot dog, and the description of it. Was happy overall. Anything that you can just leave for an overall note, whatever you needed, just so you can be consistent about it. So you can add the food item in your favorites, and then this is then where you can give a description if you want to go into further detail. Was happy overall, so then I just have the scroll bar here. I'll say we'll give it a 6, and then up here then I have the save icon. Press save. No has been added, and see all these previous ones here. I just have this swipe icon just so it could be swiped to delete it if it wants, and then that note has been removed. I go back to notes, and it's here. So that then again is consistent through the database here. So here's the notes. So the last one I would have added was it emptied? Or probably just didn't refresh it, but I'll add an unknown note in here itself as well. But if I just go back here, I'll just add in something. I'll just call this one a test, just to get some in. Tests, and we'll give it a quality score of say 10. Save that details. Note has been added, and it is right here at the top. 10 rating right beside it. Let's go back to the database, and here it is. And if I have that saved in here, and I swipe away to delete, it's been removed. So there's more consistency itself as well. Then go back to the app there in itself, then there's a restaurant's review. So you may have the description of the meal, but then you might want to leave a review itself for it. So this is just some pre-populated data I put in there in advance. It's like a personal note. So if you want to leave a review, it's time stamped and it leaves in a sticky note. Now these again are swipeable, deletable as well. I just didn't add the icon to it just to show the swipeable vector image. So if I press on the plus sign, I'm in here as a note layout default. So this is then where you can go into, say, a lot more detail about your meal itself, and then where it was. This is the title. I was going to put in a hint box, but I never actually managed to figure it out for this particular layout. But I'll be implementing that then for the next assignment for a lot more user friendliness. But say the title would be I don't know, I just remember going to that restaurant there not so long ago. And then what I can do is press the tick button to close it off and to activate it. And then to save it, I can then, it's been saved after pressing the tick button. So I press back, it's there. Now this one though, this one is set up through persistence with SQLite in the database. So I have the schema set up with inside the source files of the project itself. So this is locally persistent. Seen it through my build files here. Setting up the persistence is right here. It's set up right here. This is my details there for so selecting all from my notes is when I was setting it up there itself for the reviews, your own personal notes. So this is setting up through the local schema on the database. And after all that, you can still navigate throughout the app for a lot more options itself there as well. And say at the very end, you can log out, but if you press the back button, it shouldn't work there itself. So I need to work on that. So it's not set up for all. But if I was to go back to the home page, press log out, press back. Okay, I need to work on that. So it was working last time, but that is the app I have there now at the moment. So I'll be advancing on this a lot more than for the next app itself. Say such as here, and I'll be adding in more information itself. So how do you use the app? Possibly then is adding in Um, so recipes, maybe having a recycler view or maybe an API list into possible options instead of actually getting a takeaway and actually how to make the meal itself. But that is going forward. So thank you very much for watching. Take care.